Hello everyone and welcome to another Fallout 76 video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the camp system in more detail, although it will probably be more of a rant actually, so I apologize in advance for that. But there are good things too, so stay tuned for those. I touched on the camp system a little bit in my initial thoughts video, but didn't have a lot to say about it then because I had only about 20 minutes to actually look at camp-related things in the first beta session. I have now played the second beta session as of this recording, and I devoted almost the entire 2 hours to only building and experimenting in the camp. Several of my subscribers asked me to check out specific things, such as if certain glitches that we all love to exploit from Fallout 4 also work in 76, and what the build limit is like, and so forth. So, I'll get into that, but first I'd just like to give a quick shout out to one of my patrons, because it is they who have made this video possible. Aaron Lord, thank you so much for your support. You are awesome. Okay, so the second beta session, in which I tested the camp system, was only 2 hours long, and I had to spend the first 20 minutes of it collecting wood and finding a large flat piece of land so I could actually build something. So I didn't have a lot of time left once I got started building. In fact, I didn't even get to finish testing everything I wanted to test before my time was up, so I might be making a part 2 of this video once I have another chance to finish my testing. So I built a small house to practice with, and it didn't take long for me to become frustrated. Mainly because most of the items that you can build are locked, and to unlock them you need to find the plans to build that particular item. Now I have found 5 of these plans so far, out of dozens and dozens and dozens of plans, and that was after 4 hours of non-stop exploring and looting of buildings in the first beta session. One of those plans was for a cardboard stand-up vault boy. Something I don't really need. You know, I'd rather have something worthwhile like a water purifier or a crafting bench. So the deeper I delved into the build menu, the more frustrated I became, as it seems that very few items are unlocked at the start of the game. Only a basic wood building set for building, houses, a small generator, the basic machine gun turret, a sleeping bag, a few chairs, a couple tables, one shelf, one version of the stash box. You can actually find plans for all different kinds of stash boxes, like foot lockers and coolers and stuff like that. Pretty much any container in the game has a stash box version of it, so you don't always have to have the big Vault Tech chest. But all the other styles need plans in order to build them. Yeah. There are also a lot of new wall hanging decor, as new ones as well as the ones from Fallout 4. However, only the first few are available to build immediately. The rest, including all the new ones, are locked. Even the buildable tents are locked, for goodness sakes. If anything, these should have been available at the start. Tents are the most basic camp setup that you can get, for crying out loud. All types of water pumps and purifiers are locked. Every one of them. I happened to find the blueprint for the basic water pump, although I had no concrete to build it with. But that's just how things are. There are 5 variants of the basic house building set. Only one of them is unlocked at the start of the game, and that is the wood one, which I used to build this cabin. It looks nice, much nicer than the wood shack set in Fallout 4. It even has opening and closing shutters. That was fun. The other 4 types are the barn pieces, which are similar to the ones in Fallout 4, just not as worn down. And then the same warehouse set from Fallout 4, although with less pieces. There's a brick set and a new metal set that looks a lot nicer than the metal shack pieces in Fallout 4. But again, I couldn't build any of these other sets because they were locked and I hadn't found the plans yet. There are only 4 types of stairs. All of them are pretty large. No small step like in Fallout 4, and most of them are new. There was only one that was from Fallout 4, but yeah, not very many. I was a little disappointed by that. Luckily, none of them are locked, though. But all but one of the doors are locked. You see more of them unlocked here in my video because I found the plans for the colored wood doors. Now, even the door that looked like it matched my cabin perfectly was locked. There are two types of lights that you can use at the start. One that hangs from the ceiling and one that sits on the floor. All the rest are locked. All the appliances are locked. There are more types of chairs, I think, than any other category. There's like dozens of chairs, but only 4 or 5 of them are unlocked. And the list goes on and on. I wanted to build something really nice and homey looking, but I couldn't. Not until I spend who knows how many hours and steps before I find all the plans I need. So far, all the plans that I've found have been hand-placed in the world, so that's good. Eventually, I'm sure there will be guides on where to find them all. But for now, I have no clue which direction to even begin my search for the plans for the water purifiers or the crafting workbenches or anything useful. I think that this was a really bad idea on Bethesda's part, locking practically everything behind something you may or may not find. I mean, Fallout 4 is 3 years old and there are still places I haven't gone and things I haven't found, and 76 is 4 times bigger. Bethesda, what were you thinking? I mean, I get locking some stuff behind perks or whatever, such as the crafting benches or the advanced turrets and water purifiers. In Fallout 4, you needed certain perks to unlock those things, and so if you want to be a settlement builder, you can plan your character accordingly and invest in the appropriate specials and perks to unlock those things, right? But you can't do that in Fallout 76. I have no plan to find these things other than to just randomly wander the world in the hopes that I come across them. That is the most frustrating thing I've ever experienced in a game before. No joke. But I think the real reason it's so frustrating is because all the locked items are visible in the build menu before you unlock them. So you see them there, but you can't build them. That's so frustrating. It's not like in Fallout 4 where you can find those picket fences magazines that unlocks some new items, right? Those items, I don't think they appear in the build menu until you find the magazine. And so you don't know what you're missing. And when you find it, it feels like a treat, an unexpected surprise. You feel like you found something special, right? But in 76, I think all you'd feel is relief of frustration. Finally, it took forever to find that thing. Not, ooh, look at this, that's new. No. Yeah. What they should have done, and what I think they should do still, since this is still a beta and they can still change things, is to have most of the build items available to build straight out of the vault, just like it is in Fallout 4. At least the furniture and walls and stuff, the decorations, the simple stuff, right? None of that should be locked. But then have some special items that you need plans to build. Maybe a set of new decorating items, a few unique pieces of furniture, advanced turrets and water purifiers, sure, stuff like that. Don't deprive us of the basics in a failed attempt to make building camps more interesting. Ugh. I don't think that Bethesda really understands those of us who focus mainly on settlement building. How many of you guys spent your first 12 hours in Fallout 4 just building up Sanctuary before even setting out on any adventures? I know a lot of people who have done that, especially in their second and third or 10th playthroughs. They don't care about the main quest anymore. They just want to build things. People like us don't need or want to explore every nook and cranny of the game world as fast as possible, especially every single time we play the game with a new character. We want to spend most of our time building. But now we're forced to go exploring in order to build. And we will be forced to go exploring the same amount for every single character we make. I'm sorry, Bethesda, that is not letting us do what we want to do. That is forcing us to play the game the way you want us to play it. Okay. Anyways, I told you this might turn into a rant. Sorry, guys. I kind of just needed to get it off my chest. I just hope that enough people complain about this to get Bethesda's attention so they change it. Go to Bethesda's social media and tell them that this is not acceptable. I've already done it, but we need everyone to do it. Alright, now that my rant is over, let's get on with the rest of this video. How about I talk about some of the things that I like about the new building system, because it's not all bad, really. I really like the new building sets, especially the wood cabin one. I think it looks very nice. It looks like someone actually built it by cutting down trees and making boards and taking the time and effort to make it look nice, like real people would do in real life. You know, unlike the scrap shacks we got in Fallout 4 that looked like someone raided a garbage bin and stuck it all together with thumbtacks and Wonder Glue. Maybe somebody would do that at first, but eventually you improve the things you build to make them better, you know? So I like these new building sets. They look a little bit more thought out and planned. I like a lot of the new furniture items. There are some unique things in there. I can't wait until I find the plans to actually build them. There's a lot more variety to the furniture items than in Fallout 4, so it will be a lot easier to make each building look unique instead of cookie cutters of each other. After using the build menu a bit more, I'm starting to get the hang of it, starting to get used to the way it's laid out. I do feel like I do a lot of scrolling back and forth along the top horizontal menu though, more than I should. I think it's since there are so many categories in the main menu, more categories than in Fallout 4, it's like they took all of Fallout 4's sub-menus and put them in the main menu. So it takes a lot longer to scroll through them, but I do like the vertical side menu where the different variations of items have their own little sub-menus. That makes it a lot easier to find things. I like how smooth the camp system is. It's so easy to just drop your camp and start building, and the menu opens up so fast compared to Fallout 4's. There are a couple of new features too, minor ones, but worth pointing out because I thought they were nice. Storing and scrapping built items does not work the same as in Fallout 4. When you build an item, you will have the option to push the edit button, and this brings up several options. Scrap, store, replace, and cancel. Scrap, store, and cancel is what we could do in Fallout 4, but replace is new. Choosing this option will bring up the category in the menu that the original item came from, in this case the wood walls category, and you can quickly and easily change pieces. In this case, I had accidentally placed a door here when I wanted a solid wall. In Fallout 4, I would have had to scrap or store the door piece, then go find the other piece I wanted in the build menu. If I had built other things after placing the door, and in this case I had even, it would have been a bit inconvenient to go back and try and find it again, because then I have to do all that scrolling and stuff. But with the replace option, it takes you directly to the right menu, so that's cool. And you know, that is of course assuming that you wanted to replace it with something else from the same category. You may want to replace it with a metal wall piece, and in that case you would have to use the store or scrap option and then go find the piece you wanted on your own. So it's not 100% useful, but I think it is nice because most of the time you're probably going to replace stuff with the same type, you know, same style of building thing. Another feature they've added is the ability to lock your doors. They should have put that in Fallout 4 to keep all those annoying settlers out of your house, am I right? In Fallout 76, they do it to keep other players out of your house. So to lock your door, you have to be in build mode. You just put your reticle over the door and push the left trigger on the controller, and it uses one of 5 keys to lock your door. Only you, and presumably anyone in your group, can open that door. You can also remove the lock by pressing A. I don't know why you can only have 5 keys. Seems like not enough to me, but maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know if that's 5 keys across all your camps or if that's 5 keys per camp. I didn't have a chance to test that. I'll have to do that next time. Now, while this will keep casual passersby from entering your house, a true thief up to no good can still find their way in by destroying your structures. Walls and roofs and other building pieces have degradation. It does take an awful lot to destroy them, though. You can't just whack a wall with a machete a few times and have it crumble. I set my camp up just within range of a super mutant camp up on the ridge above me. I wanted to see what they would do if they discovered my camp down there, or if they'd even notice. They noticed all right, but not until after I built a generator. They completely ignored me until then, but as soon as I connected a conduit to that generator, they started shooting it. At first I thought they were shooting at me, but then after some time had gone by, my generator exploded. The cost to repair it was tiny, just one of each of the components it took to craft it. So I repaired my generator and decided to put it inside a shed to protect it from attackers. But of course, since the building pieces also have degradation, it wouldn't be safe in there forever. I knew this, but I wanted to see how long it would take them to destroy my shed. Unfortunately, I didn't get to learn the verdict on that experiment because the beta session ended before anything could happen. I'll have to continue testing it next time, but according to my video timestamp, it took them about an hour and 10 minutes of constant shooting at my generator before they destroyed it. But they were far away and my generator was a small target. When I built the shed, they shot at the roof most of the time, and the roof was a much bigger target, so they probably missed less often. After 10 minutes, the roof was down to half health. But of course, under normal circumstances, you wouldn't just sit there and let them shoot your stuff for 10 or 20 minutes. You'd go take care of them, right? So it's not bad. And of course, these mutants were camped outside the range of my turrets. So, you know, if they had been in range, my turrets would have taken care of them. So a pro tip for camp placement: make sure it's not near an enemy encampment, and especially not out of range of your turrets, or they'll just take pot shots at your stuff all day long. And also, build turrets and outer walls to help protect the stuff inside. Something I did not see, unfortunately, was a way to repair items before they're destroyed. You can repair them after they're destroyed, but I couldn't find any way to repair them before they're destroyed, when they have like half health or something. So I could see that my walls were losing integrity, but couldn't do anything about it. If a wall is destroyed, likely everything that was attached to that wall, such as lights and pictures and whatnot, would be lost as well, I'm thinking. I mean, that's just a theory, of course. I'll need to do some more testing on that, but it's what happens if you scrap a wall in Fallout 4. All the stuff that was attached to it goes back into the workshop, and you have to replace everything by hand again. But I would like to avoid having to do that by preemptively repairing my damaged buildings. So, spread the word to Bethesda about that as well. One other thing that someone asked me to talk about was the build limit. Well, it's pitiful. As you can see here, all I've built is a small cabin, a shed, one small generator, 3 turrets, and a few pieces of furniture, and my build budget is more than half used up. Yeah, we kind of expected that, but still, it's a downer. I get why they do it, to prevent people from building mega structures that bog down the servers and crash people's games, but still, I think that with only up to 35 players in a map that huge, where most of them are probably not building anything, let alone mega structures, they could afford a little bit bigger build budgets. I've played other online survival games like Ark, for instance, where you can build anywhere with no limitations about your size or anything, and people build giant bases. I myself built all over the map and never had any frame rate issues. I don't know. If Ark can do it, then why not Fallout? Anyway, I better stop there before that turns into another rant. I would like to mention something else that I think Bethesda should add to the build menu, and that is a decorating option, like the mod OC Decorator, where if you have a junk item in your inventory, you can build it in the workshop and it becomes a static decoration that can't be moved except in build mode. The reason I think they should add this feature is because otherwise, our camps will look very bare. We won't be able to decorate them with junk. In Fallout 76, you can't drop items on the ground like you can in other Fallout games. Well, you can drop items, just not their world models. When you drop items, they're all placed together inside a little paper sack. You can't make piles and piles of junk like in Fallout 4. And thus you can't also place items on your shelves and tables to decorate your house and make it look like you live there. And that is just a shame, because there are so many new junk items worth displaying in Fallout 76, and decorating is my favorite part of building. It really is. And you know, I get why they did it this way. This is done in all online games to prevent someone from dropping 200 desk fans all at once and crashing the server. But we should at least be allowed to place these items down in build mode under the limitations of the build budget, so we can at least have a little bit of decor and enjoy all the new stuff we get to loot. So, there is another thing we can all write to Bethesda about. Spread the word, people! Okay, last but not least, I want to talk about the building glitches that are so loved in Fallout 4. That is the rug glitch, the wire glitch, and the pillar glitch or group select, as well as the gun storage glitch to increase the build budget. I did not have enough time to test all of them, unfortunately, which is why I will probably be doing a part 2 of this video so I can cover everything. I wanted to test the rug glitch first because it's one of the most useful ones, but unfortunately all the rugs are locked. What do you know? And in the moment, it didn't occur to me to test it with something else like a floor piece or a table or something, so I'll definitely test that in the next session. The group select, thus the pillar glitch, does not work. Or rather, they don't have one. I mean, you can group select your built items because that's how you make blueprints, but you can't move items in group select. You just can't. It just doesn't happen, so that's unfortunate. The wire glitch does not work, at least not in the traditional way, and I haven't had time to experiment for new ways yet. When you try to perform the wire glitch in Fallout 76, a wire will come off the original wire at an odd place, but it will be red and you can't attach it to anything. If you ever hear about someone figuring out a new way to do the wire glitch in Fallout 76, let me know because that one is my all-time favorite and most used glitch. I hate that I'll have to go back to stringing wires through windows again. Ugh. I did not have time to test the gun storage glitch, so I will be doing that next time as well. So stay tuned for part 2 of my camp building details and glitches video. I'll try to get that out as soon as I can. If there was anything you were hoping to learn in this video that I didn't talk about, let me know down in the comments and I will talk about it in part 2. But for now, I think that wraps up this video. I know there were a lot of negative things here, but I do have some hope that these things can be fixed if enough people make an issue of it. So let your voices be heard, fellow builders. If you liked this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and ring that bell icon so you can get notified when I upload new videos. And if you'd like to support my channel or follow me on social media, all the links are down in the description. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments too, and until next time, remember to play safe, play nice, and have fun. Bye guys.